Good morning, everybody. So, if you don't know, which you don't because I haven't really shared this with anybody, it's Toolbox Day. So, what I've been working on the past couple of days while I've been off is finagling my way into a badass toolbox for really, really cheap. So, I did it, and now we're going to go pick it up. Even though, we have work to do on the Jeep, this toolbox, I think, is going to allow us to proceed in doing that work a lot more efficiently with our tools organized. So, we are going to make sure the coolant and fluid is topped off in the radiator. We're going to check the oil, and we are going to attempt to get down the road to pick up the toolbox. I'm excited to take you guys on the road and show you guys the toolbox. I'm really excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty big. There is a bonus toolbox also 20 miles further. I'm debating going to get that one as well, only because it would make sense to have a toolbox in the bus and a toolbox in the Jeep, so that the Jeep has its own set of tools for working on the Jeep and the bus has its own set of tools for working on the bus. Especially when we're out doing excursions. Something could happen with the Jeep at any moment, and having a separate set of tools for the Jeep only makes sense. Also, it's very tempting to say, you know what? Especially because the Jeep is going to need something. It's vintage, it's quality, it's good steel. But we won't know till we go look at them, and that's the thing for sure. So, welcome to the day. It is Tuesday. We will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get all this done today, upload this video. So if you're watching this video, I likely did it. If you because way strong. If I didn't get it done, I didn't get it done. Oh well, then you're watching this video after the fact and you already know. But hopefully you're watching this video before we go live, because then you get to see the toolboxes live and all that with putting everything away, which will be a lot of fun. Anyway, on to the next video. I'm going to end this here, take my time getting my coffee and everything, and then we'll see you in the next video, which will be me getting the fluids ready and taking off. Oh, you want to say hi to Angelica? Okay. Oh, she went away. All right. Say hi to Astrid. Is there skin? Skin! Put you in a toolbox. Damn, for real? Wow. They want to put me in a toolbox. All right, guys. See you in the next scene. What is up, everybody? So, we're about to prepare the Jeep to go see if we can pick up these toolboxes. This steal of a deal on the toolboxes. Guess down below, what are your guesses? What are your guesses for how much I got the toolbox for? Let me know what you think. Also, follow, subscribe for more toolbox and nomadic journey stuff. But for now, let's open up the hood of the Jeep and let's take a look inside and see what the coolant and everything's looking like. All right, first things first, let's check the coolant. We're doing this before we take off because you want it to be warm, or not cool. You want it to be cooled off. You don't want to be messing with this while it's freshly driven. Keep tight, do not open when hot, yeah. So it twisted. That was locked. Let's unlock. It's got a little wiggle and jiggle. Maybe I should go get a towel. Alright, we can't get it off. Hold on. Alright, get y'all started back up. We got the cap loose. I just wasn't pulling enough. And as you can see, there is fluid in the cap and fluid all around the brim, which is a good sign in my eyes because that means it's probably still pretty full in there. So let me get some water and we'll put water in there. Alrighty, we're gonna top this off. check with ChatGPT and come back. All right, ChatGPT says bubbling is normal. Basically pace ourselves. We're out of radiator fluid or coolant, so we're gonna use water for the rest. It says that's fine too, and just to pour it slowly. And then what we're doing basically is letting the bubbles and air and all that out so that it'll fill properly, and then we can drive. And then it says we're gonna start it 5 minutes, kind of check it again if we can. It's 11:47. We don't have to be at the first place until 2 and the next place until 3 to pick up these toolboxes. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited to show you guys about it. So you know, we didn't come all this way to just come all this way. I have to remember that. You know, we're making it happen over here, and we got a part of it's this Jeep and whatnot, but this toolbox is going to be key to getting some organization going, so we can just easily say, all right, this is the next project, this is where this is, this is where this is. So let's do it. Water coming in. All right, see if I can at least give y'all a view here where we do this. I was like, I don't have 3 hands, but I can make this work. All right. Here we go, getting it done. It's gonna be okay. It's just working out of a tote, guys. Even, I'll read you guys the chat script. If anybody wants to know the chat script from ChatGPT, just ask me in one of the live streams, I'll tell you guys. But even discussing like the toolboxes with ChatGPT and 1 box or 2 box, or, you know, whether these were, you know, because I really like the number of like, I really like the amount of storage it has. I don't want to give it all away. I really like the amount of storage that it has, you know, and so I really want to get these, as well as the great deal on them. The great deal that's happening. Hold on. We're listening for bubbles, as well as the great deal I'm getting on them. So I'm excited to share that with you guys so that you guys can see. ChatGPT says it fill it up to the tippity top. That's the tippity top. Oh, there's some bubbles. There's a little piece of something in there. There's still air bubbles. You know, I wonder if those air bubbles are an indication of how fast we're losing the fluid, of like where we're losing it at. Let's take a look down below. Let's see if we can see anything. All right. So, if we look down below, you see we have a steady leak of something. Let's see if we can see how bad the fluid is from last time. So last time, that was covered, and it still looks quite covered, but it doesn't seem freshly wet. What do we have here? Looky there. That might be, that's just coolant. That's just residual coolant. Okay, so, I don't know. I don't see anything leaking. That's for sure. I don't see anything leaking. I can see some coolant back here too. Or up here, I guess I should say. I really want to get this toolbox so I can start popping some of this open. That's the thing. Having a mess of tools and then having to go back and you know, put all that away. Hold on, guys. Let me get from under here. I just wanted to do a pre-check of what it looked like. That way I knew prior, you know. at least we'll get an inside look. We have, like I said, we got that little thing there, which could be residual. It could be just, you know, passerby from whatever the previous thing was going on here. We'll just have to really keep an eye on it as we drive. I don't know, you know? I don't know. Let's see if we can take a look under the front too. See if we see anything. I don't see any leaks. Hold on, guys, better view. Back under the front of the Jeep, here is the radiator, right? And that's likely residual fallout from me pouring in because the cap is right above there, right? And then we don't see any fluid. Hose. What do we see here? What do we see? Nothing there. No fluid on top of there. Here's a little drop, but that could also be residual from falling over. Okay, where did we see that drop before? Oh man. And this is what I mean though. Having tools, so if I wanted to pull something apart, right? Being able to go to a toolbox, there we go. Right up here. So there's this up here, but I don't see it falling from anywhere, you know? I don't see, yeah. All right, let's back out. All right, so Jeep update. The water has been checked. I ran the Jeep for about 13 minutes. Did not overheat it idle. Did everything ChatGPT told me to do as far as like checking everything. And ChatGPT gave us the okay to hit the road. So, I'm going to get the diesel cans together. I'm going to get everything together. I also have to go check Jenna's power and see what's going on. She said she's having power issues. So I'm going to go do that real quick too. And then hopefully get on the road by 1, pick up the first box, get to the road and pick up the second box. I had no clue I was buying 2 boxes today. I honestly thought I was going to buy 1. And then the lady hit me with a late offer yesterday. And I was sitting there talking with my friend Keisha. And, you know, I was like, all right. She's like, I was talking with Keisha. I was talking to Angelica. And what we were talking about was how much to spend on the boxes and whether we really need to. Well, no, we were talking about whether we needed 1. I went and talked to Chronicles. Chronicles was like, well, what's another 20 to get the extra box? And then I was like, that actually makes sense because that would be a shit ton of drawers and we'd have a separate build out for the Jeep and the bus, which is what we need. The Jeep needs separate tools. I had this whole conversation with ChatGPT too. It's going to be amazing. Once y'all see the boxes, I hope you're as excited as I am. Remember to guess how much we paid down below. Guess per box. Make sure you're guessing per box. But yeah, see you in just a bit. All right, what is up, everybody? It is time to take this risky road trip. It's not too risky. I've weighed the risk versus reward. When you see the toolboxes, you'll understand. But I've also checked with ChatGPT. I've done all the things. Plus, it gives us an opportunity to go get the groceries that we need, the produce, which I left the list, so I'm gonna have to message Angelica. I brought chargers, which I'll go ahead and get this on the charger now. You guys, I believe, are fully charged, so we shouldn't need to charge you guys. We've stress tested the Jeep at idle. We know the Jeep is doing great at idle. So yeah, all signs from ChatGPT point to a small leak somewhere, but let's get down the road and see what happens. Oh, and Ange made fresh tortillas. So good. So good. Let's hit it. I wonder if I can show you all the road. You know what? Let's hit it. I discovered that what did I discover? I'm going to tell you what I discovered in a minute. As soon as I think of what I discovered. Fucking tortilla blew me away. It blew me away. I'm going to roll down the window a little bit. For the life of me, I cannot think of what I discovered. This tortilla is fucking amazing. That's what I discovered. This tortilla is amazing. So, we have to get some cash. We gotta get some cash. We're gonna dump our trash, like I said. We're gonna refill our water. We're gonna go ahead and get a little bit of groceries as well. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit of groceries as well. That way we're ready for tomorrow. It's kind of nice to get this done. It's kind of nice to get this done and out of the way today as well. That way, going into Wednesday, we're dialed in with you guys on the live stream. So, if you're watching this, you're getting basically the preview of what our day was, or what my day was beforehand. I got up, I had my coffee, had my cereal, all that. Felt great. I've been working on this deal with these toolboxes since yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before. My sense of time, y'all know. I should have savored that last bite better. It was so good. Damn, that tortilla. Twice it's made me forget what I was talking about. Man, this bumpy road. I don't remember. But basically, we're going in town. We're going to go ahead and get our supplies as well. You know, if we're going to risk it, might as well. If we're going to be there, might as well get everything we need. Oh, I think that's what I was talking about. That way, when we come to you guys Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're dialed in. We don't have to leave to go to the store. We don't have to do any of that. We're out there and we're doing our thing. I'm also excited about the mechanical projects, to be completely honest. On top of all the stuff we need to do for the Jeep and the bus, Jenna gave us that diesel heater, which is going to be great. She gave us her old generator that wasn't working, which is going to be great. I think once we get the toolbox and get, you know, dialed in, that'll really make me say, okay, what parts, damn, this is rough. What parts do we need to order in order to get down the road and you know, make these things work? I gotta read you guys the feed. I went back and forth about this toolbox and, like, you know, because there are other options that are just slightly smaller, but they're slightly smaller and way more expensive. The deal I found on these, to me, was in reason with everything else that I saw on the marketplace. So I think I did pretty good. Once you guys see them, you know, I think you'll be excited too. I would say once I get to them, I'll show them and tell you a little bit about them. But I'll probably forget. And now that I said I'll probably forget, I'll probably remember. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. So they're vintage toolboxes. So they're a thicker steel construction than some of the stuff that's made nowadays. Which, for a bus that drives around, or a Jeep that drives around and vibrates like this, that's a little bit better because they're a little heavier and more solid. What else? They are a little used, but given their age, they have so much potential. Given their age, they have absolutely so much potential. And honestly, yes, they look used, but given their age, they are in great condition. So I'm really excited about that. the amount of space that they have. Let me roll this window up. The amount of space that they have as well is another thing that I'm like, man, it's what I've been searching for. And this is it's another one of those things where I'm like, when I tell you, like, it's kind of like the generator. When the generator happened, it was like, here you go, $75 land. It took some negotiating and whatnot, and it took some searching for the right one, but we found it, and it was great. And so for that reason, it's like, wow, how cool is it that this toolbox popped up? I had, people in the community, friends, family that were just like, hey, here's for your toolbox, which is cool. And it's appreciated. It's always greatly appreciated, all the support on this channel to have the journey going. And I think that's too why I really want to focus on making good YouTube content as we go and pick this stuff up, or do these journeys, or risk it for the biscuit and the Jeep. You guys contribute to this journey so much, whether it's, tapping, watching, financially, and we appreciate it so much. And the way we can give back, I feel like the best, is giving you the behind the scenes videos, or even live streaming during it happening, which is great. It being a day off, I figured this was a really good opportunity to make a YouTube video. And, I feel like that's such a wonderful thing, that you guys enjoy the content so much. You guys enjoy the adventure so much that y'all are willing to contribute to it, and y'all want to see us doing well. You want to see us doing safe. You want to see things like the Zon thing come to fruition in such a positive way for us. You want to see the heated floors in the RV. I want to see the heated floors in the RV. And it's so greatly appreciated, So for you guys to contribute to this journey in this way, and in all the ways, I feel like, at least I could turn on the camera and give this a try. Sometimes, y'all know, there's so much going on that I can't turn on the camera. And definitely in the early days, you're so dialed in that in the early days, when you're living in the car, you're making the website, you're living in the SUV, you're trying to get things started with the live streams and the cooking. Well, actually, that was the car too. When you're doing all that, though, and you're trying to build, it's a lot harder to see it, And when you are here 4 years later and you still haven't quit, you haven't given up, it's a lot easier to turn on the camera. It's a lot easier to say, hey guys, this is what we have going on. The Jeep has got this mechanical issue right now, and I have this opportunity to get these toolboxes that I found, and you guys contribute to the repairs on the Jeep, and the toolboxes and the food, so we can do the live streams and just living our life in general. And whether that's monetary gifts, whether that's buying merch, whether that's tapping that fucking screen, whether that's sharing and getting us to 500 subscribers or more. Next step is 1,000. Please subscribe if you've made it this far. Doing those things, it's so greatly appreciated. And we've built up, after 3 years, this community that loves and watches and supports. And because of that, it makes it a lot easier to turn on the camera, because there's not so much going on in the head. What's going on more in the head is, I want to make sure I get good content for you guys to watch and see what those taps are contributing to, see what those monetary gifts are contributing to, see what buying a piece of merch and rocking a Venture Vixens beanie or shirt is contributing to. And to me, that's something special, because it took a lot of work to learn how to brand and everything. Recently, one of our accounts got frozen. I'm not going to give too many details, but one of our accounts got frozen. And that's what I spent, not yesterday, but the day before. My whole day was going back and forth with one of these companies to get one of our accounts unfrozen. What it was a misinterpretation of language. And I explained to him how it worked and everything like that. I even used ChatGPT to land it, to like say, okay, this is what's going on. I need something that's professional that I could email to them. And I emailed, updated all my documents that were required and everything. And then yesterday we received an email saying, hey, just so you know, everything's good to go. We understand, you know, things happen, and thank you for explaining so well what the issue was. And ChatGPT explained it way better than I could. I think I'm going to leave you guys on. You guys want to stick around? I'm going to do a trash dump. I'm going to turn off the Jeep, first off, which it ran great. No overheating. Stayed actually well below the line. Not well below, but below the line enough. Hopefully I don't get a bee inside of here. And actually, that's enough to make me move. Because I do not want a bee sting. Unless it's going to do it on the lips intentionally, I do not want a bee sting. No, thank you. Man, I would love to have my lips done like that bee sting that I got. It's coming. It's coming. Jeff's paying for it, and it's coming. You guys, make sure you use that Zon link on our TT file. It helps us out a ton. Soon that link is coming to this file as well. Or pick up a piece of merch, you know. Just so you know, we've talked about it, but now, good time to buy merch. It's okay. We're good. We're good. Anyway, yeah, let's stay here. This is a good video. I am gonna stop it and start it though real quick. That way this saves in case something happens. But here we go. And we're back that fast, see? So, new video recording. I'm gonna get this trash out. We're gonna get the Jeep going, or we're gonna get, I'm gonna actually clean the windshield too. We're at 129. First pickup is at 2. So we're doing good. We're doing good, I think. As far as that goes, it feels like we're doing good. Okay, so there is bees in all of these. Okay, bees in all of these. This could wait, but I need fuel for the Jeep for now. So I will go ahead and get fuel for the Jeep. And we could probably get cheaper fuel in town anyway. Hopefully y'all didn't see that. Nothing to see. Nice. We can get cheaper fuel in town anyway, so I'm just gonna get enough fuel to get the Jeep going, and then I have to also run inside to get cash for this deal. So I am gonna pause y'all right now, and then I'll be back when we take off, okay? All right, as promised, we are right back. We have not left the gas station. We were able to get a little bit of gas. We went inside, got our cash, and then put that away. Actually, let's put that in there. Boom. Start the Jeep. Jeep started just fine. That's good. Good sign there. We're gonna fix everything once we get toolboxes, guys. I'm excited. Let's get, yay, toolboxes in the comments, please. Like this video, share it with somebody, even if you know they've already watched it, just share it to get it going. And then please give us a subscribe. If you're new here watching this, please give us a subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. All right, so where are we at here? Boom. Turnkey, 15-minute walk. Okay, right in. And then everything's good there. It looks like we're still doing just fine. Let's hit the road. Let me pull up the address here. Let's hit the road, hit place, and then let's see what we're looking for there. All right, and I gotta restart y'all because this is gonna make, this is gonna tell y'all the direction, so hold on. All right, here we go. We ride. We ride, we ride, we ride. Let's just angle up just a little bit more. That'd be great. I gotta make sure I close the gas cap. Hold on, guys. Typical me. All right, we did close it. It's good to go. Ooh, that went in good that time. And yeah, we just still got out through here. let's get on down the road. Oh, I forgot to clean the windshield. Okay, I was like, I do hear fluid moving around, but that's the fluid in the bottle. We just reached the halfway point on the gauge, which is seemingly normal. Nice and slow. Nothing crazy. Gotta let a little air in. Everything seems to be going good. Everything feels good. The needle is right at about the halfway point now where it usually sits. Sometimes it goes just slightly over, but for the most part it usually sits at about the halfway point. So yeah, there we are. There we are. First expenditure on this thing was fuel for the Jeep. I put 10 in to get down the road. And hopefully, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Why is it gonna work out? Because it was meant to be, baby. It was meant to be. I also don't speed, so you're gonna see a lot of people probably pass me. I'm usually about 5 under the speed limit. I don't really have a reason to ever speed. You know, it does me no good to speed. That's for sure. Yeah, does me no good to speed. I don't smell any coolant smell. That's definitely really good. And it looks like we're holding very, very steady at the halfway mark. It's not fluctuating down or up or anything like that, which is really, really good. Really, really good. I'm gonna have to learn these formats, you know, for doing these journeys, you know, because like I could tell you guys so much, but what do we talk about here? As I'm talking to you and you're talking to me. Stay hydrated. Listen to your AI when it tells you to bring chargers and phone charged and extra water and everything like that. Because I must say, that is a pretty, although most of this is stuff that like that you would think is like basic, sometimes you're just like, I don't know, sometimes you're not thinking. I like my ChatGPT too. It's really good about telling me to slow down. It's really good about catching me when I'm talking, not frantically, but like really, really fast, versus when I'm talking to it slow. And it'll be like, let's slow down, take a breather, and analyze this, because what you're talking about is XYZ, right? And it'll tell me, it'll basically give me what I'm talking about. I left the grocery list. I think I mentioned that earlier, that I left it and I wasn't going back for it, but it's fine. I can message Angelica. I think I even said that earlier. The reason that popped into my head is because I want some mechanic gloves. So I think I'll go by Harbor Freight and go ahead and spend the $12 and get the mechanic gloves too. And Ange uses those in the kitchen, so she'll have the gloves for the kitchen as well. And then, I'll have the mechanic gloves for doing projects, which will be nice. I also got to remember to get Sharpies, because the Sharpies we have are fading. They're fading fast. So I got to get Sharpies and whatnot. I'm thinking, and I don't know, don't hold me to this, guys, but I'm thinking because the names on the back of the bus are going to be so limited. So initially, when I did my measurements and everything, I thought we'd be able to get between 100 and 300 names on the bus, on the back door. That is definitely not happening with my gigantic handwriting. which is okay because I'm having fun doing the project, and it's doing exactly what it needs to. It's getting us by in order to do sorry, again, a lot of people are going to pass me, in order to do the work that we need to do on the Jeep and the bus and all the projects and everything, while still allowing us to do our content. And with TikTok doing whatever it did for that, couple of weeks or whatever, that really pushed us to move over here. So, there you go. You guys are getting long form content now over here on this side, thanks to the glitch of TikTok. And now TikTok's working again, and you guys still love gifting over there, which is awesome. We appreciate it so much. But that also allows us to still maintain, the $100 to $200 that we would make from live streaming over there. So we are back to live streaming over there, although we are also making sure, while we are back to live streaming over there, we are also making sure that we are doing all of the right things to expand our content, get the website going, create new merch, get the merch going. Like I said, now, I told y'all, if y'all would have bought merch a week ago, it would have been like, yeah, I don't know, it would have caused some issues. And now we're okay. If you're watching this and you've been waiting to buy some merch, by all means, go buy it. I do realize it is a little pricey, and a lot of that is because we go through a third-party distributor to help us do that while we're on the road. I do imagine at some point that I would love to do our own stuff on the road. I think I would love that, and it would really bring the cost down. But anybody that buys merch right now, with the prices that they're at, we appreciate it so much. We do as entrepreneurs and people trying to do content and branding, we do totally recognize that they are a little pricey. For what you get, the quality is very decent, I will say. I have not been disappointed with my sweater, and given that I live out on the road and the wear and tear that we put our stuff through, I have not been disappointed with our sweaters. I haven't been disappointed with the t-shirts. Yes, the t-shirt emblem will fade after time. That's just, that's part of the wear and tear, I think, of those types of stickers that they do, the heat press and how they do it. Or even if it is heat press, I don't know honestly enough about it for how they do it. What I do know is that if me and Ange figured out a way to do it ourselves in the bus, there'd be much more room for adjusting the margins, that's for sure. But don't ever feel compelled to buy a piece of merch. We don't ever want you to feel compelled. We don't ever want you to put yourselves out. But it is set up as another way to support the journey. It's not just something that you get to wear. It's also priced at a price point that really helps out our journey, and we really appreciate it. And I don't try and ever hide that. Our stuff is marked up well so that we make enough that it's worth going through the process and having that money come out of our account and having it be on hold for a few days while we have to wait for all that, going through the process of designing it, and all that. It is marked up appropriately for that. So just know you're buying a piece of merch, you're wearing the brand, and we appreciate it. And you're also contributing to the journey at the same time, and it is greatly appreciated. Definitely something though that I would love to, that I would absolutely love to move into the bus at some point. The sticker machine, I think, would be absolutely amazing. But it starts in steps, just like it started with the car to the SUV to the bus with the Jeep. It starts in steps, and now we're at the point where we're getting a toolbox, and not just one, two. I was debating just the one or get the two, and I'll share more with you guys about the debate and everything like that of what was going through my mind. At the end of it, though, ultimately, when the idea was brought to me to get both of them, so I was asked, which one do I really want? And I was like, the smaller one saves me a little cash. The smaller one saves me a little bit of cash. The bigger one is the one I really want. And it was put to me like this. Well, and it's hard to explain the story without giving away the prices. You know, I got to tease you a little bit. But it was put to me like this. Well, if the bigger one's the one you want, go ahead and get the bigger one, because then at least you got the one you wanted. But what's another XYZ to get the small one? Because the small one is... When I tell you the deal, guys, when I tell you the deal, you guys know I love a deal. But yeah, you know, what's an extra XYZ to get the small one, and then you have both. And then it was like, damn, whoa. And it opened up a whole realm of things once I heard it that way, because then I was like, dang, then we have one for the bus, we have one for the Jeep. The Jeep needs certain tools when you're out on the road. It does. Especially if you're going to be overlanding or anything like that, you want to have a certain set of tools with you to go out. You know, you want to be able to work on a little electrical. And the example I gave, hold on, I'm going to stop this and start a new one. Hold on. And the example that I gave was this. The impact. I need an impact gun. So, for those that don't know what an impact gun, it's, if you know what a drill is, it's not a drill. Well, I mean, it kind of is, because it goes back and forth in the way of a drill, but it has a little tip on the end that holds a socket, and that socket is used to take off big things like tires and just bigger projects, right? Okay, I smell a little cool now. I need a new impact. I need an impact, period. It's not yet a tool that I have in the tool belt. It's not yet a tool acquired in the tool belt. And so I need to get an impact. I need to get impact sockets and everything like that. But the example was this. The impact needs to be in the Jeep build-out. The impact would not be in the bus build-out. The reason being is because if there was a situation where I need the impact gun for the bus, then the Jeep is with the bus. So it doesn't make sense to keep an impact gun inside of the bus. It does, however, make sense to keep the impact gun inside the Jeep, because the Jeep may be out by itself and need a tire change or need something like that. Maybe need brakes all of a sudden while we're out and about on an excursion. Maybe we go on a 4-day, 5-day excursion in just the Jeep, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, it needs brakes. I mean, I don't see that, just because a lot of this maintenance would happen so organically now that the toolboxes is there. And this is another thing that I talked about that ChatGPT was telling me. ChatGPT was even saying things like maintenance probably don't happen on a regular basis, because you have to think about getting to your tools by dumping a whole tote in order to get to it. But if you could easily and grab the things you need, I'm a mechanic. I have a mechanic's mind. I know these things. It makes a difference in how you move. And for that reason, it makes sense to go ahead and get both boxes. And the deal that we're getting. But what I was also going to say was, the impact gun. The impact gun would belong in the Jeep, because there will be times when the Jeep might be out and about and we will get a flat, and it'll be so much easier to go and change the thing on the Jeep. And the Jeep will have its own solar system and everything like that, so we can charge the batteries if need be, or anything like that. It's not one of those things that needs to be on the bus. It's one of those things that need to be on the Jeep, because the Jeep needs portable tools, and that is a portable tool. The Jeep, it will be out without the bus. The bus would never be out without the Jeep. I mean, I guess sometimes, but if that's the case, I can always go get the Jeep, or figure out a way to go get the Jeep and then bring it to the bus if I actually need those tools for the bus. So there you go. And eventually, I mean, you could get 2 impacts or whatnot. Two impacts would be really repetitive. Like I can't imagine a scenario where the bus is out and needs an impact that the Jeep can't get to it. Can you guys imagine any scenario where the impact being stuck in the Jeep is gonna you know, hurt the bus? Because the bus would be parked at the campsite, you know, and if I'm going down the road and something happens on the way to the campsite, then I'm pulling the Jeep behind me, and that has the tools in it. So to me, it only makes sense that the impact would be in the Jeep, not in the bus. We don't go out exploring in the bus anymore. We would only go out exploring in the Jeep, which again leads me to say, all right, well, all right, coolant smell went away again. That's positive. Maybe a slight after, but I don't smell it. And we're still maintaining temperature very solid on that middle mark. But yeah, I can't imagine a scenario where it would be in the best interest to have the impact gun in the bus versus the Jeep. It just makes sense to put it in the Jeep. Does that make sense to everybody? If something was to happen going down the road to get to the campsite, then boom, we'd have the Jeep pulled behind us. And if we were at the campsite, then boom, the Jeep is there. The Jeep, on the other hand, might go on a 5-day excursion in the backcountry, overlanding and whatnot. And in that instance, you might want to impact with you to perform some maintenance or some repairs. Turn this off real quick. Alright, had to turn that off to conceal location. So we got 12 miles to our exit, 14 miles to the first box. ChatGPT said don't go over 60, stay in the right lane and just cruise it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay at 60 miles an hour. I am not going to aggressively pass, aggressively go up hills, any of that. We are going to just maintain our speed and yeah. And I'm so glad I brought the magnet this time. Why am I glad? Because it is so much more stable. You guys, this video I think will come out really, really good with the stability. The only thing might be the sound because you guys are so close to the roof. Again, another easy fix. Look, the clip for the roof right here. I say easy fix. I might have to do a few things or whatnot. But another easy fix, but I put it off because I don't have the tools. And I think I was talking about that, about ChatGPT. We were talking about how it's so easy to put stuff off because you're like, oh, I got to dig through all this? Nah. I was excited. I showed Angelica my screwdriver. She's like, what? It's going to have a home. And I was excited that my screwdriver is going to have a home. It's going to have a drawer where I can go and pull it out. That is so beneficial as a mechanic, as somebody that lives this lifestyle and is going to work on their own stuff. It's such a good tool. And to get the deal that I've gotten on these toolboxes, I can't wait to show them to you guys. Can't wait. I am so excited. So excited. Had some people merging on. Had to pay attention for a second. 10 miles. 10 miles more on the highway here. 12 miles to our exit. We are still holding great. Holding at that 60. No sense in rushing it. And we are holding steady at that halfway mark on the heat. So it is doing good. This is all real positive signs, guys. Where we initially thought it was a water pump, I stress test the Jeep beforehand, and after adding the water with the coolant, in the radiator, and then running it in idle, when I checked it afterwards before we took off, like you wait 20-30 minutes, what the fuck's up with this guy's ladder? Yeah, I can't even show you. This guy's driving with his ladder wide open. Let's see if I can get it. more trash flying at me. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Some about maintenance or whatnot, but yeah, it's a game changer to be able to put away your tools. That's for sure. And it's definitely a significant sign of changes on the journey. That's also for sure, you know, like, here we are on a bus. Here I am organizing tools, you know. It's nice to be mechanically inclined, you know. It's nice to be mechanically inclined. I don't think that's what I was saying. I was saying something about, being able to work on my own stuff, I think. I don't know. It really is nice though. It's nice to be able to be like, all right, well, cool. We can try and tackle some of this. We can, you know, we can try and figure this out. And I think I was saying something about the coolant hold. Oh, I think I was talking about how this is a good sign. Like, so the coolant holding. So we're not overheating, right? So this means, I was talking about the mixture. So, so initially we had thought it was the water pump, and when I tested the Jeep at the camp, I filled up the radiator, I let it idle, and then after letting it idle, it was clear when I filled it up because of the water, and then after letting it idle and then checking it, like after letting it idle and then letting it run for about 12 minutes, roughly 12-13 minutes, I turned it off, let it sit for about 20-30 minutes, cool down, and then I open up the radiator again, and you can see the color had changed, which means that the fluid is circulating. This is a good sign. The fluid is circulating, and so that means water pump is probably still working fine. And what it says is that there's probably a little leak somewhere. There's a tiny minor leak, either in a hose, maybe in the radiator itself, possibly, what did it say? Possibly a small crack or like broken debris or some shit in the radiator, which would make sense too, because I also saw little flakies, like very small little flakies, which that shouldn't be in there, I don't think. And so that also was like, okay, well, but the other thing is I think the radiator, the water pump, I think have all been replaced. So I don't know. I don't know. Feel free to suggest. Feel free to throw a comment down below if you have a hunch what you think it is, too. But I don't know. I'm sticking with ChatGPT on this one. ChatGPT is telling me a small leak somewhere, which I can see tiny itty bitty leakage somewhere. The only thing is the fluid in the back, and ChatGPT explained it as this: when you're driving, the way the wind goes, and especially for Jeeps and the build and the undercarriage and driving down the highway, that drip tends to dry up in the front because there's so much wind and air and everything like that. But in the back, it tends to stay and look worse than it is because there's nothing drying it up, which that makes sense too. But I think it's a matter of looking into it and seeing what's going on. There's also slight oil back there and things like that. So I think there's that to look into. I think there's a lot to look into. And a lot of it, not looking into it, is not being able to open up your tool set and go, all right, because I can be a fast-moving mechanic. I know things, I have knowledge. But man, when you got to dig through a thing of tools, and then when you got to dig through that thing of tools to find it, do the whole project, get yourself all dirty and messy, and then you still got to go back to that big-ass pile and throw it back right into that big-ass fucking tote and go, oh, I still got to clean up all my tools after this. When you have a toolbox, it doesn't, well, if you're a good mechanic and you have a toolbox, it usually doesn't work like that. Unless you're knee-deep in something, and even when you're knee-deep, it's hard to start losing track because you want your tools where you can get them. When you have a toolbox and you're doing your shit as a mechanic, that shit is in line. This goes here, this goes there. Because when you need it again, you want to be able to get to it. That's just how it goes. Or you set a pile and you clean that pile every night. But to have a pile after you've done a whole project, you're all fucking filthy, and then to get back to a big old fucking pile and go, fuck, I gotta just throw this in a tote, and that's how I have to live with it. Ugh, I can't, as a mechanic, I can't stand that. I want a toolbox. I want to put my stuff in a toolbox. I want organization, and I almost slipped. You guys will see. You guys will see. I'm stoked. I am stoked, guys. I am stoked. We are almost to destination. We are 3.9 from our exit and 5.7 from the pickup location. So I am going to stop this right now. I will start you guys back up once we get to the pickup location, and I will start you guys back up once we get to the pickup location, and yeah, I'll show you guys the box once we get there. But we're a little close, so I don't want to dox myself, and see you guys soon. We're holding good, by the way. Holding great at that halfway point on the heat, and everything seems to be doing good. Vehicle feels good, and yeah, see you guys in just a minute. A little winded. As you can see, we have it in hand. It is, honestly, it is a dream. It is better than what I could have possibly imagined. I'm happy with it. It said the casters were included, but for what I paid for it, I honestly don't want the casters. It's not anything I really need at this point, but I mean, they're valuable casters, but it's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. Do I want the caster card? No. I don't need the caster card. What I need to do is get to the next location. All right, hold on. All right, we're headed down the road. We have 23 miles to our next location for the other box. Sorry I didn't get to share that one with you, picking it up. It was a little fast-paced and everything like that. I totally forgot. No big deal. You guys would have loved it, though, because you would have saw the guy loading it in and everything. He was really cool, very sweet gentleman. I just fucking love nice people, you know? It's one of those things. I just really love people that treat me like I'm just a person, not, you know, but I just love people that treat me like a person. Anyway, on that note, I can't tell if we're slightly going up, or if it's just the angle of my eyes. I think I'm hoping for angle of my eyes. 22 miles to next destination. Time crunch on this one, for the meeting with the guy. So it's all good, but pulling out what that is gonna need right there, and then we're getting to the spot. Honestly, it looks like it's holding strong. When it overheated the last time, it was very apparent it was overheating. So I honestly think we're still golden. I think we're still golden. So we'll get down the road. You know, you guys can head down the road with me, and we'll get down the road, and yeah, hopefully this one is nice, guys. Like, when I tell you it is nice, this one is like, it's nice. It is a nice toolbox. It is worth what was paid for it. My hope is that the other one is just as nice. I've done okay, so here's the thing. I've done so much research on these boxes already. I can't even express how stoked I am. Like, I've done so much research, so I know the biggest thing is, do the pictures match what I'm about to go look at, you know? Because sometimes the camera angles will make things look good, and sometimes you don't take pictures from all the angles because you're like, well, fuck it. But at the same time, at the price they originally had it at versus what they brought it down to, it seems like it's in good enough condition. They knew it was in good enough condition to try and get what they were asking. But something happened that they were like, just get it out of here. So they're blowing it out to me. To me, I'm getting an absolute steal of a deal, to me. So we just have to get there. 24 minutes, 22 miles. And then the nice thing is we're going to go do a grocery shop. And after the grocery shop, then we can head back to, after the grocery shop, we can head back to camp, which everything seems to be holding up really well. Honestly, it's holding stiff at the halfway. It's holding stiff at the halfway. It's a little hotter outside, but I don't even hear the fan running. I don't hear any of that. And the Jeep is running very smooth, which to me is a good sign. To me, that says we have a small... To me, that says we have a small leak somewhere. I just got to find it. Or, like I said, maybe the radiator or something like that. But we'll look. So far, it feels like everything is doing really well. And there's no sense in panicking or anything like that. I don't think there's ever really a sense of panicking. Life is what it is at this point, especially for us. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, sometimes there is cause for panic, you know. But I mean, like for us, after 4 years of doing this, like it's sometimes hard to remember, but the truth is there's always a solution. It might not be a solution that we want or a solution that we like, or a solution that, you know, we want to experience at the time. But we also have to remember it's an experience that we're getting to experience before the lights go out, before it all goes dark. So, you know, it is what it is. But I am so grateful. I am so grateful to have the funds. Oh, we're starting to slightly get up there. We're starting to slightly, look like we're starting to slightly go up a little bit. Maybe. Let's continue to drive and see what happens. If it gets any worse, then we're gonna have to pull over and give it 20 minutes and refill with water. But regardless of the situation, we have to remember that we're always alive, and you know, sometimes the things that happen are not the experiences that we want to have, but we are having experiences, and if we can find that light in it, or if we can just get past the dark of it, then I think we end up in a much more beautiful place, you know. That's for a thumbnail. Just ignore all that. Man, this box is nice. It's everything I imagined and more. So nice. It looks like we're holding strong at the halfway mark again. I think there will be a Walmart nearby too, which will be nice because I could just let it cool down at the Walmart. We could check the fluid before we take off again. That'll be also beneficial. It's those things I'm getting used to. Oh, I got to remember to try and hit the Harbor Freight too. I want those gloves. A lot of road noise, I'm sure. Sorry, Part of the fun of the trip.
Use the right.
Turn that signal on a little too soon.
Take the exit.
Down. All right, 18 miles, 18 minutes. Strong again at center. Looks really good. Looking like a good trip so far. $16 miles. Let's do it. Speed limit drops to 55. Even better. Cruising at 55. Alright, I'm not going to waste any more storage space. We are 15 miles, 15 minutes from destination. So far everything looks like it's going good with the Jeep, so I'm going to go ahead and save the storage space right now. And I will come back once we get to location on this one. And I will try to remember this time. That way you guys can see the boxes too. Okay, we made it to the meetup location for the second box. I just messaged the person and let them know that we are here. I gotta get all this stuff organized, so I'll let this play while we wait for them to message. And that's what we'll do. The Jeep did really good. It didn't go above the halfway mark or anything like that. It did really good, so that wasn't an issue either. It looks like they just saw my message too. So let's see what they. Sounds great. I'm almost there. I'll be in a black Toyota Camry. Cool white. Cool in white Jeep. All right, they're almost here. It is time for the exchange. I'm gonna wait here until they get here. Actually, instead of moving around outside, For my own personal reasons that I'm not going to discuss on here, but I would rather them get up here, pull up. I don't want them to see, basically I don't want them to see me before they pull in. I'd rather them pull in, have committed, and then regardless of their personal feelings, you know, they're like, oh, and hand me cash. Why do I act like that? Why do I think that? Because that's a lot of people's reaction when they first meet me. Again, why I appreciated the last guy so well, because he treated me like I was only human. I bleed when I fall down. Yeah, he was a cool guy. And they worked me a really sweet deal on this box. I can't wait to tell you guys. I can't wait to tell you guys and show you guys this box. Not only this box, but the other one that is coming. Like, I am stoked about it. I'm gonna put that other one over here. So some of this, it's gonna have to sit right here. That's empty. These are gonna get filled up when we land. And this should be just enough space. This right here should be just enough space to squeeze it in. Move the water tube. In case I need to access that. I'm so happy that the Jeep made it too. That was another thing. The Jeep making it to here, that was really nice, you know? It turned out great. And this box, I'm telling you, I'm stoked. It is everything I could possibly it's everything. It is a nice box. It is perfect for the bus. I think one of the things that's going to be like finding the right spot for it. But looking at it now, I think I'll be able to find the right spot for it. Honestly, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal to need to find the right spot for it. You know. And as far as the smaller one that's coming right now, it's just slightly smaller, same brand, same everything. That is going to fit perfectly, I think, right up against the side over here, and that's where it'll live. And then the rest of the back area is going to be available for the dogs or anything that we have. So yeah, I'm excited. That'll make for what's what I'm looking for here. That'll make for good sense, you know. What I'd really like to do, and I don't know how that would work, but I'd really like to somehow get a platform on there and then maybe have it like on a swivel thing so that it swivels open, or like basically swivels toward the door so that whenever I do have a project, I can work toward it. Or the other thing I've thought about, because it's a little smaller, is maybe we just make it portable. So like it has handles, this one has handles. So maybe we make it so that we can put it, pull it in and out, you know. But depending on the weight, that's going to become, yeah. And it's really not that big of an issue to walk from the front where we'd be working something to the back, or even the sides. I mean, so I think it's more about making it convenient to swivel toward the open tailgate, so that then we're just opening drawers in order to do it. I think that's going to be I think that's more the key to resolution, rather than taking it out, putting it back in, taking it out, putting it back in, because it's not a big deal. If you're working on the Jeep and you have the tools and you're doing the things or whatever, then you're very much probably taking your time in order to accomplish the things that you want to do. And not taking your time in the sense of, oh, I'm moping or going slow or anything like that. You're just paying attention, you know, and then having that ability to select the right tool and know where everything's at. That makes a big difference too. ChatGPT said it perfectly. You start using makeshift tools to get a job done, just so you don't have to reach in for all the right tools at the bottom of the tote. And I have done that I didn't even have to explain that. And I have done that countless times. I have just put a tool together or been like, oh, this tool will work, when the reality is I have the right tool. Or I want the right tool, but I don't have the space for it because I'm already working out of a tote. So these are going to be such a game changer. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support. So grateful to have everything we have and this community, and to just be going on these journeys, to be able to share something like this, something like my day of picking up some toolboxes, and the intensity of, will the Jeep make it? The Jeep is holding so good, y'all. It's holding so good. I'm trying to leave this thing running. They said they were almost here. We're looking for a black Toyota Camry in the background there, if you see it. Also, a good time to remind you guys, if you are watching this and you have not subscribed to the channel, please give us a subscribe. It would be so greatly appreciated. It helps us out a ton. It helps us out so much. I can't even express how much it helps us out, because it helps us out that much. Like, it's just one of those things that, like, says, okay, well, I am trying to do this YouTube thing, and it has certain criteria that we have to hit, and in order to monetize and make repairs and do those things and get some of that YouTube money, we need more subscribers, and so that helps us out a ton when you subscribe. So thank you guys so much. It does look like the guy saw my message, so I said cool in a white Jeep Wrangler. So I'm willing to bet they're gonna pull in any second. Get the cash ready in my pocket. Get the cash ready. Cash ready. You know, same time. What part of the parking lot are you in? The back. Back center. Black Toyota Camry. Is that them over there? Black Toyota Camry, here we go. Yep, I bet that's them right there. 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 Yep, found them. All right, y'all stand by. Let's get this deal done. When I tell you better than anything I could have imagined, oh my God. Oh my God. Slides are fire. Fire. I'm stoked. I'm closing this door. All right, he's gone. All right, we did it, guys. We fucking did. Did y'all want to see him now? Do y'all want to? Can I show him to you? Do you want to see the toolboxes? Oh my goodness. Do you want to see the toolboxes? All right. Well, if you want to see the toolboxes, then you're gonna have to watch the next video. I'm gonna do a separate YouTube video. Sorry, I had to get you a little bit. Guess your prices down below. As soon as I get back, I'll do a second video that will show you guys the boxes, what they look like, what we paid for them, everything like that. Actually, I don't know if I should include what we paid for them yet. We'll see about that. But I will do another video when we get back showing you guys the boxes. For now, we got them. We got both of them. They are better than I could have imagined, y'all. They are better than I could have imagined. I am so stoked. For now, we have to get to Wally. We need to go pick up some supplies, and then we need to make it back to camp. And the Jeep is doing good. let's keep that energy. Did I just lose the keys? No, they're right here. Oh man, I'm stoked. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off because I have to put in the GPS directions, everything like that. I'll probably turn you guys on again when we get to Wally. Maybe just for the heck of it, or an update about how I'm feeling. I am feeling great. You know what? I'll leave this on right now because I am feeling great, and I feel like I should share that with you guys. Like, y'all, when I lifted this thing up, when I show you the fucking handle, oh my goodness, y'all, they are just better than you could have even imagined, guys. Better than you could have even imagined. So crazy. So crazy. Let's see here. There is one right there. That's a neighborhood market. Let's go to this one. That way it's in our direction too.
Starting route to Walmart Supercenter.
Yeah. Better than anything I could have imagined. Better than anything I could have imagined, fam. Okay, so Walmart is 19 miles. We didn't overheat on the way over here. What's gonna be really important, the Jeep did so good on the way over here. I feel comfortable with this drive. What's gonna matter to me now is, what I think is gonna be really important is getting to Walmart, doing our grocery shopping, and then after we do our grocery shopping,
Turn right.
the fluids, see where it's at. Make sure all that is in line, you know? I think that's gonna be,
Stay in the middle lane.
I think that's gonna be one of the important things.
At the light, turn right onto.
Hold on, guys, I'm trying to concentrate here. One of the most important things I think is going to be checking the fluid after the vehicle at Walmart. I think we're okay to get there, check the fluids, check the coolant once we get done shopping. That way the Jeep has plenty of time to cool down, and then after that we go from there. All right, 18 miles, 20 minutes.
16 miles.
And so again, so we don't burn up film and time useless, I'm going to turn this off, and then I'll get with you guys when we get there, or whatever the next move is. All right, y'all, so I am pretty exhausted from everything. We overheated just a little bit in the stop and go traffic, but after talking with ChatGPT and everything, we're gonna be just fine as far as that goes. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I don't have it in me to go to the grocery shop, so I'm just gonna head back to camp so I can make this video you guys can see, and then make probably the other video where you guys can see everything, what we got. And says we're fine as far as everything goes. We should be fine. I'm gonna stop at Dollar General on the way and just get toilet paper, and then that'll let us assess our situation, get our grocery shopping, and then I can come in town intentionally to do grocery shopping and probably pick up a little bit of cereal. See you guys back at camp. All right, so we just filled up diesel. Little overheating from the Jeep, nothing crazy. We decided not to go for groceries today because I'm exhausted now. Decided also not to go for cereal, so We're almost back to camp. Ange has those delicious tortillas that you saw me eating earlier in the day. I picked up some toilet paper from the Dollar Tree. I picked up some, toilet paper from the Dollar Tree. I picked up, did you find her?
Yeah, she was standing. She was up on top of the bookshelf watching me freak out.
Nice. Yeah, so it appears that we will have made it back to camp just fine. The other thing that I'm sitting here thinking about is the Jeep is drivable under circumstance. Whatever that circumstance is, I don't know. I also think there's a good possibility that the water in the system evaporated out, and so if we put full coolant in it, we won't have these heating problems as much. My other suspicion is maybe a thermostat. I have a lot of suspicions, but I'm going to give it to ChatGPT, see what ChatGPT says. Once we're up to speeds and stuff, we don't overheat. Like, we're starting to overheat a little bit now, and a lot of the overheat is at idle, which is crazy because we stress tested at idle and we didn't overheat. So that means we've probably lost fluid, and I'm willing to bet the fluid that we've lost is coolant. Not coolant, just water. I bet water has evaporated out of the system in addition to the coolant that we are losing. So now we just have to identify the problem, figure out how to keep the coolant in the system, switch out the water that's been in the system for coolant, and, Bob's your uncle. But yeah, see, we're hitting the thing, we're hitting the overheating. Turn on the heater, roll down the windows, and that should fix that problem really, really quick. And it does. We're already going back up. But when I say it's circumstance, what I mean is I still do have to go grocery shopping. I still have to make it in town for those things. But that is right in town, thankfully. Nothing crazy, nothing far. I should be able to make that trip even if I did it 15 minutes at a time. 15 minutes, let it cool down. 15 minutes, let it cool down, and make that happen. That might be what it comes down to in order to make this happen, just to get to town to get the groceries for a grocery run. But again, I think better that we made it back to camp, empty out the Jeep, get our lives together. If we really need to, we're good for 3 to 4 days other than water. And even then we could reserve bottled water if we need to. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I think we're going to get the toolboxes out. We're going to get organized. It's going to make me feel relieved. And then we're going to go into town, run the little bit of errands that we need, get the gloves from Harbor Freight, get the cereal, get the groceries, and then back out here to keep doing what we need to do. I think we got some good things coming. See, even turning on the heater, it helped the overheating. All good signs. All good signs. I think the important thing now is to check the radiator and see how much loss we've had. How much loss we have had after. How much loss we have had after driving and everything like that. And that was a good trip. I mean, that's an hour there, an hour back. That's a good trip, you know. That was a good trip. And so if we can make that, we should be able to go into Walmart, get the things that we need to do. We just have to figure out whatever's happening, and correct it or adjust or whatever, you know. Anyway, see you back at camp.